Call the order, or call the meeting, please. Stand for the pledge. Please remain standing for prayer.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this day, another day of life. But as we gather here today in this meeting, I ask you for the men and women who are conducting it for the citizens of Bracken County. And as always, Father, we ask you for the men and women who will protect and serve us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Sorry. Judge Teagarden won't be here this morning, so I'll be presiding. But we have a roll call, please.
Sandy Roof. Here. Craig Miller.
Here.
David Kelch.
Here.
Danny Holleran.
Here.
Debbie Mayfield. Here. John Scott.
Here.
Heather Brumley. Here. Kevin Gerald.
Here.
Thank you. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
First, we'd like to have an approval of the minutes for our last regular meeting held on April 22nd. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Debbie Mayfield. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Danny Holleran. Roll call vote, please.
Craig Miller.
Yes.
David Kelch.
Yes.
Danny Holleran.
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield. Yes. John Scott.
Yes.
Heather Brumley.
Yes.
Kevin Gerald.
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Yes.
Thank you. We need to have a vote. We did not have in our minutes for the special meeting that was held on May 5th. We need to add the votes from the special called meeting that we approved, the Senior Citizens Fund cash transfer. So can I have a motion to, actually, do we need to have the voter roll?
Motion.
Hang on. In the minutes, we did not have the list of the votes. So do I need to have another, or just an approval that we're adding this? So we just need an approval that we made the votes to approve the Senior Citizens Fund cash transfer at the special meeting on May the 5th. So can I get a motion for that, please?
Motion.
Motion by John Scott. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sandy Roof. Roll call vote, please.
David Kelch.
Yes.
Danny Holleran.
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield. Yes. John Scott.
Yes.
Heather Brumley.
Yes.
Kevin Gerald.
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Yes.
Craig Miller.
Yes. Thank you. Old business, we'll start with Stacy Floor, Road Department update.
We showed 2 roads with gravel. We've rocked several mailboxes. We went around, checked all of them out. Working on gravel roads throughout the county for the winter, by dragging the foot rock down. We had to do repair work on 2 bridges that was closed for a day each. Decaying of the concrete on the bridge decks. Started bush hogging, and we had 200 tons of salt finally hauled in that I ordered the 1st of March.
Gotta love May salt deliveries. Any other discussion for the road supervisor? If not, we'll move to the animal shelter expansion. We are hoping to get the survey completed for the property in the next couple of weeks. We've got to have that before we can submit anything to Division of Housing and Building in Frankfort. Property, Licking Estate surplus property, we'll table that. I would like to have a vote to amend the agenda. Mr. Kyle Carpenter is the Maysville Fire Department Chief. He also oversees the Maysville-Mason County Ambulance Service, and he would like to give us a brief discussion about what he's been talking with our Emergency Management Director, Dispatch, and Judge Teagarden. We won't be able to make any decisions or vote on this today, but I would like to give him the opportunity to address the court, but would need a vote to change the agenda to allow him to speak prior to new business.
Motion.
Motion by Debbie Mayfield. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by David Kelch. Roll call vote, please.
Danny Holleran.
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield. Yes. John Scott.
Yes.
Heather Brumley.
Yes.
Kevin Gerald.
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Yes.
Craig Miller.
Yes.
David Kelch.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Carpenter, Chief Carpenter. If you can.
this already on? Or do I need to turn? Okay. Thank you. If I don't know you, hello. I'm Kyle Carpenter. I'm the Fire Chief of the Maysville Fire Department. And thank you for the opportunity to speak here today. First off, I may not know some of you all, I know faces, but the reason I may remember faces that you were there when Kevin Dole passed away and what our department went through and the emotional support that you all gave us. Thank you. And the people down there that was there to help us during that need. Thank you very much. I know he may have worked for us, but he called Bracken County home a lot. He grew up here. He told stories about going to Augusta and the Little John boat taking groceries across the river. I used to love hearing stories about that. And so he thought the world of Bracken County, and so I can see why. So thank you for letting me speak. I started conversations with Tina a couple weeks ago, and did everybody get a sheet? Some of y'all may have not got a sheet. If you didn't get the sheet, please let me know. So I emailed her a couple weeks ago asking for permission to get on your all's radio system for fire and EMS. She said there'd be no problem. She CC'd the radio company that is monitoring your all's radio system and said there'd be no issue. The company called me and said, hey, is your radio this? Is it that? He's like, what brand is it? And he said, well, you're going to have to buy new radios. And I said, well, we're getting new radios. They're DMR already. They're all banned. They will do DMR. Well, we've got this key that it has to be a certain brand of Motorola. It's called Motorola Turbo. It's a certain key. As far as the encryption, it has to be that brand. So I emailed back Tina. I asked them to email that response back so we'd have record of it. So they emailed that response, which you all have in front of you. And then Tina emailed me saying, hey, I've looked over this. I got to thinking, I think you all can just use your phones and it will be okay. Then I emailed back saying, hey, a phone is not a reliable thing. Anybody that grew up in the country, like in Bracken County, Lewis County, and I know I still think Mason County's country, but that could be an argument sometimes. No, you get in a holler. We can't rely on cell phones out here. And so we need just reliable communication for our EMS. And right now, how the radio system is set up, it's set up with this RAS key that eliminates us having access with our radios. So I understand encryption for a police officer and for the sheriff, but as far as the fire side of it, there's too many entities needing access to that radio, and to tell 9 fire departments in Mason County and the EMS service and Pendleton County that they all have to buy new radios just to communicate with Bracken County is probably not logistically a great thing to do. So that's why I'm here today, just spreading the information. I'm going to be short because I know you all have a budget to read and pass and do all that. So I've kind of said my issue here, and hopefully you can work with your community leaders as far as the fire department, EMS, your law enforcement or dispatch, and kind of resolve the issue. And if you need any guidance or anything, you're more than welcome to reach out. You all have any questions about it?
So you had a brief conversation with a couple of us that were already here earlier, and you did mention that there is a mutual aid agreement coming up here shortly.
Yes. So we have always done mutual aid with Bracken County EMS, with Penny. Being a small community like Maysville or Bracken or Fleming or Vanceburg and Lewis County, we depend on each other for when we get busy, if we have bad runs, whether it's a wreck on the AA or it's, hey, they have 3 runs in a row and they need an extra ambulance. We will, when you call, we come. No questions asked. We've always responded. Well, the safety of my guys are now in question because we can't communicate with your local dispatchers. There's nobody who knows this county better than your local dispatchers. And if you have local dispatchers, we'll have local dispatchers we can't communicate with. Because they know that Billy Bob in Powersville, there's a gravel lane next to his house that's where the house is gonna be up there. It's not marked, but guess what? The dispatcher has dealt with this call maybe 3 or 4 times that it can relay that information to my guys. And now we don't have that information. Or, hey, the original page was a wreck out on the AA at 19, but it was really right before 19. So they may run up on the wreck thinking it's all the way at 19. Your all's first responders, your fire department, EMS gets there, they can relay information. We can monitor that channel. So it's really a safety issue. And if my guys aren't safe, I'm not sending them. So if we can't resolve this issue, I think our contract's over in July, somewhere around there. July 1st. So if we can't at least get on the right track of resolving this issue, we probably won't sign the mutual aid agreement, because you can't tell me my guys are gonna be safe over here. So,
So what you're saying, Kyle, is you cannot communicate with Bracken County
No.
at all?
at all.
And you're saying that our EMS cannot communicate with you all? Our
No.
fire departments and our police department cannot communicate with you?
So
Nothing in Mason County?
if Bracken County comes to Mason County, they can communicate with us. If we come to Bracken County, we can't communicate with Bracken County. The short-term fix, and I will say this, there will still be other issues, but we are purchasing radios that do both P25 and DMR, all digital, they're all bands. They can go across the board to any signal. And we will be able to talk to you, the Maysville Fire Department, the EMS. There will still be issues with county departments in Mason and county departments in Pendleton County because of the implement where you all went DMR instead of P25. But I know how much money was spent. This is a short-term fix of a more meet-in-the-middle kind of road than to say, hey, redo your whole system. Because I understand, I grew up in Orangeburg on the other side of Mason County, and I understand how finances in a small community, but we're here to meet in the middle, not to really, say change the whole thing. So it would work for the EMS side.
So, Chief, I spoke with Judge Teagarden this morning, and she's been going back and forth with Judge Sparks from Lewis County, getting information from him and Lewis County Emergency Management Director, and would like for you, if you could come back to address either possibly on May 27th or June the 10th.
Okay. And I've also had conversations with Lewis County about this also, because right now Lewis County, their EMS and fire does not have the RAS key, but the entity doing the radios, we're planning on doing it in the future date. And so I've had conversations with George Sparks. Judge
Reading
Sparks.
through the emails this morning, is Lewis County still on complete analog system?
I'm not for sure. I know they have their DMR system up. They're just not on they don't have the RAS key.
Because you could still, like I told you when we talked this morning, can the analog repeater, if Lewis County's all analog and we still have an analog repeater, can that still transmit to the other channel on our new system to where it would work for you all and us?
So you were putting their digital signal on your analog system.
Well, I'm not, like I said, I don't know what Lewis County has, but what you all currently have, would it work off of one of our existing analog repeater?
Yes, the analog would work. But the problem with that, you're asking now first responders that's holding a tourniquet or holding a baby doing CPR to switch channels back and forth between
Right,
different
and
channels.
And that's one of the reasons why we upgraded.
Yeah. So that, would that fix an issue? Yes, but it causes two other issues that, hey, now I have to rely on two different channels to switch back and forth between while trying to do CPR on a little kid.
Because I think
or
that's
holding-
is that what Lewis County currently is?
What?
Analog?
They were originally analog. I don't know if they're on DMR yet or not. Okay. When they were doing the whole kind of thing you all were doing, I called George Sparks and said, well, we don't have the RAS key yet. We haven't done all this yet, but it's in motion. And I've tried to halt that, or tried to say, hey, listen, this is going to be an issue. And he was talking to people in Lewis County. This was a conversation I had 2 weeks ago with George. And, sorry, Mr. Sparks, Judge Sparks. I haven't talked to him yet. It was conversations we're going to meet in the future. So,
Okay. Like I said, our next upcoming meetings are Wednesday, May 27th, Wednesday, June the 10th. Would either one of those work
the
for you?
27th at 10 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
I can go.
Okay. Well, let's tentatively plan on that, and if you don't mind, on the email chain that you have with Judge Teagarden, to send that to her, and we'll make that work.
Okay. Hey, thank you all for your time, and I know you're, go ahead.
I got one more thing.
Okay.
Didn't you mention earlier that this system we're under right now is not appropriate for the state?
So When you're going to change a radio system, you're supposed to submit that to the state. There's a committee that it goes to, and they have to approve your plans for the new radio system. After you submit those plans, they approve it, and you can move on. In the research that I've done, and I called members of that committee and asked, hey, was this approved? And they said nothing was ever submitted. So that's kind of, they said if this was submitted, it probably never would have got approved because of where it was DMR. That's the problem with DMR is that there's so many brand-specific bands and no control of interoperability between departments, what I'm talking about today. So that's kind of why the federal government said the P25 route, because we wouldn't have this issue. And so the damage is already done. That's why I said the RAS key, if we can eliminate that. There's still damage, but it's not as bad damage as not being able to talk at all. So,
Hey, Kyle.
just the RAS key. The analog, I mean, y'all can switch back to analog. I don't think that, and from what I hear from other people and whatever, the radio system that you all got and you all communicated, it's way better than what you were on. And I may be speaking out of term, because I'm not bashing that it's not doing a good job communicating. I'm bashing that there's no access. Okay, so for y'all to change your system, I don't think you're to that point. I'm trying to do the middle of the road of, hey, if you eliminate that RAS key, we can have access, and it's a middle of the road, not changing infrastructure. It's literally just programming, like the program that keeps the encryption on the fire. The Maysville, or in Mason County, our fire and EMS is not encrypted. Our police and sheriff is. So that's kind of how that goes. But any other questions? Sorry.
The process of eliminating the RAS key is what? Explain a little bit.
I am not a radio technician. I'm a fire chief. So I just know what the issue and what was causing the issue. As far as the fix of that, you're going to have to talk to your vendor or vendors, or you need to work with your first responders or law enforcement, whatever, and they're pretty educated with it. And I think if the more you work with them, the better the outcome will be for this. So if I can recommend anything, I know the one thing I've learned as chief for 2 years is my judgment's not always the best judgment. I need to have a good circle around me to put me in my place sometimes. So if there's anything I've learned is to reach out to the people around me, especially the people in the field, and they should be able to advise you a better way. So that's Kyle Carpenter advice. So I thank you for the opportunity to speak. Any other questions? If you have any questions, you can find my phone number on the website or email me. I will answer to the best of my ability. Bracken County is a great asset for not only your all's county, but for Mason County and surrounding counties. So we need that relationship always to be great, because it feeds into Mason County and the surrounding counties. So if you all are strong and striving, we're strong and striving down there in Maysville. So we appreciate you all.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
All right, next we're going to have Mary Beth Rudd, CASA Director, give her annual report. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Bracken Physical Court, for allowing me to speak. Thank you for the opportunity for me to speak today. My name is Mary Beth Rudd, and I serve as the Executive Director of the Buffalo Trace CASA program. We proudly serve 5 communities: Mason, Bracken, Fleming, Nicholas, and Robertson County, advocating for children in our communities. In 2025, our CASA program served 119 children across all of those communities. 21 of those were children from Bracken County. Behind each of these numbers is a child who's experienced abuse and neglect and needed a consistent, caring adult to stand beside them. Every child we serve is matched with a dedicated CASA volunteer. To ensure the highest quality of advocacy, each CASA volunteer serves only one case at a time. Thank you for your continued support. I think there was a miscommunication. I wasn't able to be here last time, but I'm glad that I was able to speak. Sorry I have to use my phone. Our printer's down. So I'm managing today with technology. Do you guys have any questions? Bracken County is a huge asset to us. Judge Walton did a wonderful job of laying the foundation. We have great support from the county attorney, Beth Moore, from your local CPS. So we are really grateful for your community, for Augusta, for Brooksville, and for Bracken County as a whole. So thank you.
I know I was with Mary Beth at another forum last week, and we discussed she's going to be needing volunteers, members from the Bracken County community for the CASA board. So if anybody watching, listening in person here would be willing to serve, I know my wife has in the past. We have dozens of Bracken Countyans that have been on the CASA board that have helped and supported the program, and it's always needed to have more support and help. So if anybody is willing to take that step, they would greatly appreciate it.
Yes, I desperately need board members. No one knows the communities better than the people living there. So when I go to the board, or I'm having a problem in Bracken County, or maybe we need volunteers, or maybe we just want to be a support to the community, no one knows that better than the community members. So if you guys know anybody that would be a great asset to our program and serving on the board, I would greatly appreciate if you would just send me their name and number, and I will reach out to them. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, we're going to have the first reading of our Bracken County fiscal year 2026-2027 budget. Everybody got copies of these in the last 2 weeks. There were a couple changes. One was some software issues that Treasurer Lois Garrison passed to everybody this morning. And got plenty of paperwork for everybody to hopefully have done their homework and looked through, and if you have any questions, now is when to bring this up. The main goal is to hopefully get a first reading passed today, because this has to be submitted, has to be approved for a first reading by us, and then submitted to DLG, and they've got to have their employees go through and approve everything to where it's in motion to be able to be effective by June the 1st. So. And I also put a spreadsheet together myself early this morning that I gave to the magistrates. I've got notes and budgets going back about 13 to 15 years that, these aren't 100% official numbers, but they are everything that I've had on file showing, each different department, annual budgets, total budgets, what our surpluses were year to year moving forward, and just something beneficial for you all to have looking at the current budget and last year's as well. If anybody has any question, I met with Judge Teagarden for a few hours this week, going through item by item to make sure that we could answer anything today in her absence if needed. So a couple notes. The Senior Citizens Fund, it has been transferred to the general fund. The amounts that were in there were negligible to where we just included those in the general fund moving forward. The potential Brooksville City Sidewalk Grant that we've applied with the City of Brooksville, that's hopefully going to be considered moving forward, it is included in the general fund budget. And there's another, we've got another grant that's for a siren replacement, hopefully for next year, that's included. It's almost $200,000. We do have the Germantown Park commitment is included in the general fund Parks Recreation line item.
Craig,
Yes, ma'am.
we changed the shelter equipment repairs to 2,000 and added a shelter expansion project. Is that how that worked? 5205, 585, and 588.
So what we're hopeful for the animal shelter expansion, the complete project, is 200,000. We had 100,000 that we've kept aside for that. That is 50, well, the old one was 5205,571.
I'm sorry, I gave you, you're correct on that number. I gave you the wrong number.
The one for our 25-26 budget, it was 5205,571. We had $100,000. And in our upcoming budget, we've got 200,000 under a new line item of 585. And that's for the expansion project. The building repairs, I mean, just the description of that 571 was changed, yes, ma'am.
So is that extra $100,000, is that just coming out of the general fund?
Let me look. I thought we had always had the $100,000 of ARPA funding left from 3 or 4 years ago to use for that, but we still have the ARPA account with $101,720, so.
So that's what we're using?
I couldn't tell you 100% that's, if it's from just a new appropriation in the general fund, because we still have that ARPA amount as a separate.
So it may be coming from that?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I mean, everybody sees the increase of the total budget amount, the general fund compared to the overall total, 1 point, I thought I had these numbers down. A little bit over $1 million on the sidewalk project, and then another $1 million grant. The funding that's still included as far as the ambulance expansion. That's the 90% of the increase in the general fund and the total budget amount.
Stacy, what about fuel? Who is still coming out, like filling up, and have we budgeted enough for that? We were just talking, it was $12,000 just this month.
They're the only ones that ever give us a bid and quote. We put it up the 1st of June. So when Gina and I sat down 2 months ago, we had kept it the same, because we were under good, but within the last 3 or 4 weeks, just went crazy. So I don't know where that'll leave us. If it stays up like that all year, we probably are under budget.
And that comes from the contract through Buffalo Trace that we have to, when they get bid on through their annual contracts.
So do we just keep it in the budget as it is until that, I mean, we've got to, do we need to up it? I guess that's.
I mean, it's jumped up, what, $2 on the gallon right now? That's your diesel fuel.
Well, you can also look at, we could look at our financial statement to see how we are through the annual, through 10 months, 9.5 months of the budget currently, but obviously with the worldwide turmoil that's going on, diesel's up 50, 75 cents. I mean,
I
it's
seen it
not,
up to $6 a gallon yesterday. It's like $5.69 on an average around here, $5.19.
it hasn't had the spike as much as gas has affected all of us, but if that's listed as petroleum products, right now, our financial statement for 10 and a half months of the fiscal year, we're only at 58% for the prior 25 to 26, so we're in great shape.
I just was questioning.
And we spent $81,000, looking at that from July 1 last year through April, basically.
I just saw the $12,000 for just last month.
We budgeted 140,000 for petroleum.
The road budget is, got pretty substantial increase, and that is because Stacy and Judge decided to go ahead and include the salt. We've gone through the mixture of fly ash and everything that we've used in the past, basically. So our salt budget has gone from $125,000 to $300,000. So, substantial hit that we've got to be prepared for. Especially when we get our deliveries in May. I was wrong about the ambulance expansion project. That money's already been on the prior budget. The other $1 million increase is the CD that's listed in our budget, which I think we've got to make a decision on to renew. So it's about $1.3 million for the new sidewalk grant, $1 million CD in the budget, and that used to only be in the financial statement, not necessarily in the budget. So that's $2.3 million worth of increase. So without those two line items, our entire $15 million budget only has an increase of $169,401. Any questions or discussions about any part of the budget for the first reading? And like we've said, first reading, we can get this passed. Lois can get this sent to DLG. We can still, if they approve it, if we see anything that needs to be adjusted prior to our next meeting for a second reading, it can be discussed and brought up, so. If not, do we have a motion to approve the first reading of the budget?
I'll make the motion to approve the first reading.
Motion by Debbie Mayfield to approve the 2026-27 fiscal year budget first reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heather Brumley. Roll call vote, please.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
John Scott,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Couch,
Yes.
Danny Halloran.
Yes.
Thank you all. Next, we'll move into our financial approvals. First is general fund budget transfers. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by John Scott. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Sandy Roof. Roll call vote, please.
John Scott,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Dispatch 911 fund budget transfers. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Debbie Mayfield. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heather Brumley. Roll call vote, please.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
John Scott.
Yes.
General fund vendor claims. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Heather Brumley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by David Kelch. Roll call vote, please.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
John Scott,
Yes.
Heather Brumley.
Yes.
Next is road fund vendor claims. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Kevin Gerald. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Danny Holleran. Roll call vote, please.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny,
I'm sorry, I need to abstain. I have a claim from Miller Lumber Company. Apologize for that.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
John Scott,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Yes.
Jail fund vendor claims. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Danny Holleran. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sandy Roof. Roll call vote, please.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
John Scott,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller.
Yes. Senior citizen fund vendor claims. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Sandy Roof. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Debbie Mayfield. Roll call vote, please.
Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
John Scott,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Sandy Roof.
Yes.
Dispatch fund vendor claims. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by David Kelch. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Sandy Roof. Roll call vote, please.
David Kelch,
Yes.
Danny Holleran,
Yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
John Scott,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Gerald,
Yes.
Sandy Roof,
Yes.
Craig Miller.
Yes. Other business, Judge Teagarden wanted me to bring this up. I had a copy of the email to all the magistrates. Our animal control officers have asked in the last couple of weeks and spoken with the health department regarding rabies vaccination. And Judge Teagarden asked if we could get this approved by the court today. You see the estimate from the health department. It's a series of, looks like 3 different doses of vaccination. I'm assuming over time. I don't know if it's all done at once, but total for the vaccination for both animal control officers would be $2,813.40 through the Bragg County Health Department. I'm just surprised that it's not something that was already needed or done. So I believe that we should move forward with it, but do we have any discussion between the members?
Is this a preventative, Craig, or did they get bit?
I don't know that it's happened. I mean, if I was an animal control officer, I would say I would have already been bitten. But rabies, I don't, it's not in every animal or dog. But I think it's a definite preventive measure that needs to be given.
You got a take on that, Sheriff?
Not particularly.
Okay.
We've had officers that have been bit,
That's what I was thinking.
right,
Yeah.
and then had to get
that worked, right? They're still with us. They're still with you. So, this preventative stuff, we would have to pay for every 2 years, just assuming that one of them might get bit?
I didn't realize there was a vaccine.
I didn't know they did either, yeah.
It says that possibly, and I don't know if that's supposed to be tighter drawn or, but it does say that something potentially might be needed or might be changed in 2 years, but it looks like this would address a 2-year vaccination.
I got bit several times when I was a mailman, and I never did go through a rabies shot, you know.
You're still here with us, right?
I'm still here. I still got
I think maybe we should table that until they're here to talk to them. There
Okay.
might be a reasoning behind it, we don't know.
That's fine. We can ask them to come to our next meeting, and also want to make sure that everybody did see that they have the Animal Control Office monthly update report in your folder, the paperwork, including a couple of the different veterinarian bills from, that were included in our vendor claims. So we'll table that to the 27th meeting. That's all we have so far. Anybody else on the court, anything to present this morning? Kevin, have a good turnout in Germantown Saturday?
Yeah, we had some that spoke that didn't participate, so we'll be letting them know who that was.
All right. Anything else? I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Motion by Danny Holleran. Do I have a second?
That would be
Second by Heather. Danny was first. Danny was first. Second by Heather Brumley. Roll call vote, please.
Danny Holleran,
yes.
Debbie Mayfield,
Yes.
John Scott,
Yes.
Heather Brumley,
Yes.
Kevin Jarrells,
Yes.
Sandy Roof, Craig Miller,
Yes.
David Couch.
Yes.